Okay, so for the third video, I'm going to just talk you through the test plan. Now, the test plan is very much like what we did for the database test plan, in that we'll have a test number, the test description, test data, predicted results, and actual results. Obviously, the first part you could just test your buttons, so like the home button, how will you test it? You'll click on it, what do you think will happen? It will go to the home page, and then whether it worked. So this person's failed, but if it works, it will look something like that. So click on the data button, goes to choose data. Alright, so you can test all your buttons. Alright, the next thing you could test is like your spinners. You could test if you could say when I click the spinner that it should go up and down. You could test your macro. So this is her, they did a different macro to you, but so she's just testing if she pushes the macro button, does it work? If she changes it, so you could do if the exchange rate goes to 0.8 or 0.9, push the macro button and see what happens, and you could put your macro code in. You can test your formulas. So she was testing her cost per kilo in sterling. So she said change the exchange rate to 0.4 and she expects these to change, and they did, so she got what she achieved. So any formula, so here let's do another one, total profit formula, and she gives the range, and she says if she increases the profit margin to 60, she expects them to go up, and they did. What I would do is I'd maybe put a before and after so you could actually see them going up. So you can test all your formula. So you can see there's a whole bunch of formula, and I have sent you this document so you can have a look. She tested her comments. These were the things we did. If you went at school in the last week, you might not know what these are, but you can test that when your mouse goes over the box, the comment shows up. You can test, let me just go down to it. If you put the validation on, you can check. So for instance, you could, in your exchange rate, you could put -1 and you get your error message up, or you could put an A and get an error message up. So here you just say exchange rate checker. I wouldn't write all this. I would just say type A or type -1 and then error message. I'm not writing there. You can check your conditional formatting. You remember we made it green, yellow, and red, so you could just change your profit cell and then see what happens. So there. And then anything else you think you want to test on your test plan, you can put in. Alright, the second document that I asked you to do this week was what's called the Justifying Your Decisions table. And I know some people have had a battle with that, so just to explain it. So what I want you to do is again put number, put the feature, the justification, so why you did it, and then evidence of it. So this is about your features. So things like why you chose the colors you did, why you chose the buttons you did, maybe you could even put your logo in, your conditional formatting, why you chose red, yellow, and green. Obviously you can choose your own colors. I just did red, yellow, and green. Things like that. So she said her buttons, and she's got evidence of her buttons, and then she justified why she made the buttons those colors. So there you can see. So she says they will match her house style, which is her logo and stuff. She then talks about her house style, so choosing the creamy yellow or orangey yellow and the buttons that match. How she did her exchange rate and used the spinner. How she did the profit margin. How she did her graphs and why she chose the graphs of that color. You might also want to add why you chose the kind of graphs you did. Why did you do a bar chart? Why did you do a pie chart? Tables, macros, why you chose that macro button. Why did you do the macros you chose? Not just because I told you, think of something. If you've put instructions on any of your pages, why you chose the font you did, maybe say because it's clear and easy to read. Headings, the headings you've chosen, why did you choose that font, things like that. Okay, and then the final document is your evaluation or your review. So that, I'm just going to open up, yikes. Look everyone, the N drive, you've missed it. The U drive. So I sent you a link called Marks and Client Requirements. I sent you that document. and that had all the client's requirements from the spec. So what you can then do is you can then go and choose which ones you've done or not done, and then you can put the requirement in there and then say if you met it or not. So if you can see, she's put all of her requirements and then whether she met them or not. And then if you are, so wait, let me open up this. If you are going, so to get a merit, hold on, let me move this box over. To get a merit, you need to do the justifying table. You need to have we've optimized it now by adding the if statements, the spinners, the macro code. So that will be enough for a merit for those of you going for a merit. For those of you going for distinction, it is that evaluation table. I've just done the review and evaluation table. You do need to do a review table anyway for the P7, so you should have done both of those. The problems and limitations. So if you are going for distinction, you will need to do this table here. So what limitations you had. So you'll have a number. You'll say any limitations you had and what solutions you came up with. So just list about anything from 3 to 10 limitations and how you overcame them. And then the last thing, if you're going for a distinction, is your individual work ethic. So again, you just need to tell me how you worked on your own, how you solved the problems by yourself. I can email you to say that you've done we did the feedback on the drawings, and then that's all you need to do to get the distinction. So just to recap, if you have not added your drawings, please make sure your drawings are in. Get your feedback on the drawings. Make sure that you've got your macro code in from the video before. Make sure your project log is now finished with everything we've just added. Do your test plan, do your review. That's feedback, which most of you have got. The justifications table, which I've just showed you at the beginning. Adding the stuff we did today. And then if you're going for distinction, that stuff there. So I think, okay. Let me know if you need any help or if you're missing anything, and then please can you try and get this all done by Friday. You've got all my lessons, Miss Benajan and Miss Rose lessons, and then send it to me as soon as you're finished. I will mark it over the holidays, and then you've got 2 weeks when you get back to fix anything that's missing. Alright, hope you're all well, and I am missing you all, and hopefully we'll see you soon.